Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all sitting comfortably. You can hear me fine. It's a little bit of a different setup for us today, but welcome to ISV Partner Day Digital 2020. I'm Matt Whitton, the Managing Director of Grey Matter. I'm really pleased to welcome you all to today's virtual event. It's a little bit different today. Hopefully you can see my background. We've all had fun setting up with teams over the last couple of months. We'll push on through. And the Q&A is already open, I believe. So if anybody is having any issues, then please put some questions in there. We'll pick up on those. So in my 20 years with Grey Matter, I've seen a lot of change. I know that many of you have been in the industry for much longer. It doesn't seem so long ago that the Millennium Bug was our biggest worry, and we would happily wait days or even weeks for the delivery of our latest software update. We've seen huge progress in recent times. Who would have imagined just a few years ago being able to stream HD games and movies almost instantly, or being able to spin up a high performance computing server with no need to connect any cables and in just a couple of minutes? But all of these technical leaps have happened over a period of time. And we've had the chance to assess what areas we want to pursue and to dictate our own timeline for adoption. Working in IT, we are used to change, and we often talk about the need to be agile and to adapt if we want to succeed. So we should be well placed to lead other industries through the changes needed to accommodate new working practices. Working remotely from our colleagues certainly isn't a new thing. For decades now, businesses have been using systems to allow their employees to work from home. However, I think it's fair to say that no business was totally ready for the lockdown that we currently find ourselves in. We're getting fed a lot of stats at the moment, so I'll only use one. A group of UK accountants recently said that without government support, 18% of small businesses could fail within a month. So looking at that, that's a big number, and we know it's really tough out there. It's a pleasure to be working with so many of you who are working hard to ensure that your businesses are strong and that you're enabling your customers to continue trading when they need you the most. We've seen some really great examples recently of how ISVs are making a difference. One that springs immediately to mind is a partner who's adapted some of their existing IP to build an app that allows key workers to efficiently book a COVID-19 test. And there are many examples of companies lifting restrictions or offering free trials to allow access at no additional cost. Because I understand how valuable your time is, I'm especially pleased that so many of you have been able to join us today. And whilst it's a shame that we can't have a chat over a coffee, I hope that we can do that on the 14th of October, which is our rescheduled event for the in-person event in Reading. At the moment, the most common question that we're being asked is really understandable, and it's how we can help save you money. And so to this end, we're offering free Azure cost analysis assessments, and our teams are on hand to discuss other ways which we can help you reduce your spending. So talking of today, interaction at these types of events is really important, especially at the moment. Learning from our peers is vital so that we can come out of this situation with better products and as strong a business as possible. Other ISVs will be facing similar pressures, and they may even be able to help you overcome the ones that are currently challenging you. Because of this, we've launched a new LinkedIn group that you should all have received an invite to prior to the event. But if not, I urge you to have a quick look in your emails and to sign up now. And to make today as interactive as possible, I urge you to post your questions, thoughts, recommendations in there. There's also Q&A in each session, as I mentioned. So please ask as many questions as possible. Any that can't be covered today will be picked up later by an expert from Microsoft or Grey Matter and fed back to you. So whether you're watching this event live or later, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day. It's never been so challenging to be an ISV. The rules change really quickly this year. And whether you sell into a sector that's been particularly hard hit and you need to diversify and cut costs immediately, or if your customers' demands changed and you need to support remote working or build a new app to help deal with increased demand, Microsoft and Grey Matter are both here to support you. I hope that you find today's sessions interesting and informative, and that you can take some new knowledge back to your business that helps you adapt, become more efficient, or encourage innovation. So immediately following me today is Joe Macri, Vice President of One Commercial Partner, or OCP at Microsoft in the UK. OCP is Microsoft's partner organisation, so Joe is really influential in how we all get managed as Microsoft partners. Joe will be retiring from Microsoft in June after 24 years with the company, so we're really lucky to have him speaking for us today. After Joe, we then have our core technical sessions. These will be started with Richard Irwin, a solutions engineer from GitHub, who will be looking at how their tools enable collaborative development. After Richard is April Edwards, an Azure advocate and senior software engineer at Microsoft. She will show us how Azure DevOps can be used for continuous delivery and automation. Then it's Giles Davies, an Azure application development specialist at Microsoft, who was always a hit when we used to run our Visual Studio launch events. And today he'll be covering how teams can develop together using Visual Studio Online. After Giles, it's Justin Davies, an application innovation business lead at Microsoft. He'll help you learn how to re-architect for Azure. Next up, it's David Stewart from Cloud Know-How, our service delivery team. He'll provide you with an overview of Azure data services and the analysis and migration tools that are available in Azure. Then we have Justine Cokes from the Microsoft Mapping and Geospatial team in Seattle. I know that Justine's really disappointed not to have got her trip into the UK this week. She'll be covering how Bing Maps APIs can help increase business performance, and hopefully she'll be able to join us in October still. So I think you'll agree it's quite a lineup, and remember these sessions will be available on demand after the event. So if you're not able to stay on here all day, you can still see the content and share sessions with your colleagues afterwards. As I read through the list, there really is a lot that's covered. So for any of you that do watch all of the sessions, please drop me an email afterwards to let me know that you did and what area you found most interesting. And we'll send you a little something as a thank you when it's appropriate for us to do so, of course. The fact that we've got so many great speakers from Microsoft today shows you how important the ISV ecosystem is to them. We regularly ask for information on ISV trends, challenges, and often hold ISV roundtables and feedback sessions. If you'd like to be involved in one of these, and please send us an email. I can promise you that Microsoft are really interested in your feedback, and the input that you give does get listened to, and it helps shape future programs and products. So thank you, Microsoft, again for supporting this event. I would also like to thank our sponsors who enable our in-person event to happen and are also here to help you transform your business. On the webpage for this event and in the follow-up emails afterwards, you will find videos from each of them, which will help give you a bit more insight on the products and services that they offer. So thank you again for attending today. I really hope that you enjoy it. And that's enough from me now. So now I'm delighted to introduce Joe Macri.
Well, thank you, Matt. Hopefully you can hear me.
We certainly can.
Great. So I just want to say a huge thank you for giving us this opportunity. So I've got feedback on this. I'm just going to put the volume down here. Just a thank you for allowing me to join this event virtually. As I was just sharing with Matt, it's really different doing an event this way. Literally half an hour before this live event, I had a delivery and we lost the dog. So it's one of those things that we just have to deal with. It's a lot easier doing these events in person. But again, thank you for your time this morning. And first of all, thank you all for your partnership. I'd just like to say that I hope you're all doing well and you're safe. And if you know somebody in your family or friends that are not well, I really do hope they get well soon. As Matt mentioned, I've been with Microsoft for 24 years, and yes, I am retiring in the summer. I'm not too sure how I feel about retiring during this pandemic, but it is what it is. But it's been an incredible journey at Microsoft, and just to reflect on that journey and how it's actually a little bit relevant for our discussion today. I joined Microsoft in 1996 in the UK and established the SMB business. And back then, we really had two types of partners. We had our fulfillment partners, our distributors and retailers, and we had our ISVs. And our ISVs were critically important even then, you know, in terms of our platform with Windows, and really drove our success as a business. And as there was an ongoing innovation, a platform shift at every stage of the journey, we've seen different types of partners start and evolve. But what's been really consistent through the evolution of Microsoft is the importance of our ISV community. Even in today, it's even more important. So over those 24 years, I've experienced that in many varied roles. A couple of roles that I've done prior to this role, I think is a little bit relevant as well. I launched Azure and Microsoft 365 into the Western European market when I led marketing and operations for Western Europe about 11 years ago now. And about 5 years ago, I was leading our public sector business across Europe, Middle East and Africa, and had the opportunity to work with a number of governments as they started on their digital transformation journey. And for the past 3 years, I've been back in the UK leading our commercial partner organization. And when we talk about our commercial partner organization, it's not about Microsoft, it's about you, our ecosystem. We have this incredible ecosystem in the United Kingdom, over 20,000 partners employing 570,000 people. A significant number of those partners are ISVs that either their primary purpose is developing IP or they have a combination of services and IP. But what's really incredible about this ecosystem is its economic impact. For every dollar that Microsoft makes, our partners generate an additional nearly $10 in associated services and products. One of the biggest issues that we have in the marketplace is that of the skills shortage. And so one of the areas that we've been very focused on is working with a number of organizations, a number of partners, a number of government organizations as well, in driving apprenticeships. And we have over 22,000 individuals that are in the process of completing or have completed their apprenticeship program. And collectively, this ecosystem has developed over 2,000 solutions. Now, you might think that sounds like a lot, but actually, when you think about the market in which we serve, from the largest of enterprises through to the smallest of businesses, from all the industries in commercial across to public sector, we really need to have a breadth and depth of coverage, and this is what our ecosystem does for us. We've been on a bit of a journey as an ecosystem, and to date, about 70% of our business now is in the cloud. This is incredible, and we have a lot of skills and certification that goes with that. What's really exciting about those partners that have really embraced the cloud, and specifically the marketplace, which I'll come back to later, they're enjoying up to triple-digit growth in that part of the business. It's a new part of the business, and it's a part of the business that's really exciting. In terms of our real ambition, or what is it that we do as an organization, it really is these three things. Our purpose as an organization, and everything that my team does, is these three things. First and foremost, to help you grow your business on our platform in serving our mutual customers' needs. Now that's really, really important because we've seen an incredible opportunity for all of our partners over the last number of years. And in fact, since we launched the commercial partner organization, we have doubled our commercial business, and active usage of Office 365 and Dynamics and consumption of Azure has gone through a 7-fold increase. So we have absolutely grown this business together, and so thank you for that. But as I mentioned in my introduction, I've been with the company a long time, and I've seen a number of technological innovations, and with each of those technological innovations, there's an opportunity for us to create new solutions and portfolios. And so we're very focused on leveraging what we call the intelligent cloud served by the intelligent edge to help you create new solutions. And the most recent area, of course, is that of artificial intelligence. And to date, we have over 200 partners in our ecosystem that have gone right on in with AI solutions built into the core of their solutions, whilst many others have started to play with this technology and provide additional services and capabilities. So this is something that we're really excited about. But ultimately, our purpose is to also help you transform. And I'll come back to this notion of transformation. But ultimately, think about it this way. It's about moving away from a transactional engagement with your customers to delivering customer lifetime value, and having that long-term engagement, especially at times like this, is most critical. And so how we define success, many of you work with Grey Matter, of course, and some of you may also work with Microsoft, and you may come into contact with people, and to really help you understand what is driving our business, It is these three areas of how we manage partner business performance, sales engagement, and what we call tech intensity. I think the first one is pretty clear. It's about how we help you grow our intelligent cloud, which is Azure, Modern Workplace, Microsoft 365, and Biz Apps with Dynamics 365. But sales engagement, sometimes people think about seller to seller engagement. Don't get me wrong, that's an important part of the ecosystem. But even more important, especially in the current climate, is how we use the marketplace. To give you a sense, the Azure Marketplace, since its launch about 2 years ago now, it represents about 10% of our Azure consumed revenue in the UK, which mightn't sound a lot, but as I mentioned before, the growth is triple digit. We're well over 100% growth in this business, and the partners that are exposing and developing their solutions via the Azure Marketplace is a really great way of doing business. Another way of doing business is partner to partner. There will be many of our services organizations, our Azure expert MSPs, our global systems integrators, as well as our traditional channel partners that are really embracing the cloud. And I know many of you have those engagements. But above all, what's critical is how we all do digital marketing. And today is just an example of that. This notion of tech intensity, I think, is a really important one. It's actually a phrase that Satya used in a LinkedIn article, I think about a year ago now. And really what he was talking about was what will truly define the success of an organization, or even the success of a nation state, is how quickly it embraces technology, but also invest in the skills and capability of those people. And this is a huge focus for us at Microsoft. I know many of you have been involved in a lot of our skilling platforms. This notion of modern partner is something we talk about both from a services partner point of view, but also from an ISV partner point of view. And I'm going to come to that now and really give you a sense of how we define modern partner. Now, when I mentioned before, the fact that we've got over 2,000 solutions in the marketplace, what really helps partners differentiate themselves, it's either having industry or domain expertise. I think gone are the times where partners can say, hey, I've got really strong capability and I can do anything you want, Mr. Customer. Having your solution that's tailored for industry, especially as that industry is being disrupted, and that industry needs transformation, is absolutely critical. Now, I'm going to come back to COVID at the end and the impact on certain industries. So I'm very clear, we're very clear, that not all industries are now equal in this new world, and we really have to adapt our solutions and our offerings to do that. But having that industry domain or domain expertise is job number one. And then delivering that in end-to-end solutions through collaboration, co-creation, and partner can happen in a number of fashions. As I mentioned before, our Azure expert MSPs work with a number of ISVs, as do our traditional channel partners. And so really finding the right partnerships and driving that end-to-end solution to either help you reach markets that you can't physically reach or to reach customers that you haven't had exposure to is absolutely critical. Clearly, the notion of artificial intelligence and having that infused in your solution is a key differentiator. I mentioned we've got thousands of solutions, but only a few hundred that really have embarked on this journey. And again, as we know, given what's happening in the world today, leveraging data to help organizations, help emergency services, help frontline workers is something that we all need to do and get behind. But ultimately, how we do this has to be via the marketplace. And so this is how we think about the notion of a modern partner. Now, culture is at the core of this, and it's actually at the foundation of this. Now, culture means different things for different organizations. For Microsoft, it's been around the growth mindset. Sorry, I was about to say growth Microsoft. Growth Mindset, a book by Carol Dweck. She was a researcher, or is a researcher, that did some work around why do certain people and why do certain businesses succeed versus others, and having this notion of a growth mindset, the art of the possible. Failure is a lesson. How do we look at opportunities rather than how we look at problems? And so that's what's helped define our cultural journey. But really inclusion and diversity has been another core part of Microsoft's area, along with responsible AI, digital skills, apprenticeships, and of course, sustainability. We're not saying you need to do what we are doing. What we are saying is choose what's right for your organization, because having culture at the center of your strategy not only is great for our employees, but our customers value it. The number one conversation we are having with most customers at the moment isn't about Azure and Office 365 and Dynamics. Don't get me wrong, we do that business and we are focused on that business. But the number one conversation we're having as an organization with our customers is about our customers' cultural journey and how they can use technology to enable that journey and adapt that journey based on what is important to them as an organization. So these 5 things are the 5 things that we believe focused well will help you enable be successful. Now, as Matt said in the introduction, we are, and I think the word is, in unprecedented times. And so I want to talk a little bit now about how Microsoft is responding, both for our customers and for our partners with the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. It's fair to say, when this, it feels like it's been going on for years, doesn't it? But when this all started, I do remember when we started to get a sense of what was happening in China, that we have something called, focused on critical response. And so we enabled our emergency response team within Microsoft. And job number 1, of course, was to focus on our customers, our partners, and of course, our people. So like everybody, we went through the process of making sure our people were safe, and we made sure we had continuity of business for our customers and our partners. But what we've now started to do is saying, okay, the world has changed, and we can still talk about Kubernetes and what we're doing with advanced data warehousing and all the wonderful technologies out there, but actually these 10 things are the things that our customers need the most. Now, it's different by industry. Now, clearly some industries, non-food, retail, hospitality, travel, are in crisis. There's just no question about that. And so there's pretty much not much we can do as organizations besides being flexible in how we do business with them. And we are trying to do as best we can as an organization. But there's other industries like food-based retail and all government services, frontline workers, that are absolutely clamoring for our support. And so what we've done is we've aligned our solution area work and our co-sell work around with partners across these 10 areas. I'm not going to read them out. I'm sure you've read them as I've been speaking. And by industry, we're working out which of these 10 scenarios are, or which are the top 3. And we're engaging with our partners to make sure we truly understand how we can help our customers. Customer number 1 for Microsoft in the UK is the NHS. And we help them stand up teams to 1.2 million users in less than a week with the help of Accenture and a number of our partners. And there's many, many more examples across the public sector as well as the private sector that we've been engaging in. It's been a challenging time, but a rewarding time. And I think our learning in all of this as an organization is the old Microsoft, the Microsoft that produced software and pretty much threw it over the fence and then let our partners do what they did with our software, which was great, to this world of cloud operations. This is critical infrastructure. Everything that we're doing with Teams, with Azure, and with Dynamics is critical infrastructure for the United Kingdom and for other countries as well. And so if you have solutions and capabilities, we would encourage you to think about it this way, and all of our marketing in the right way, because we do not want to be seen to be taking advantage of the situation. This is about serving our customers. We're really aligning our messaging and our strategy across these 10 scenarios. The other thing that we're doing is working with you, our partners. Gabriella Schuster, who leads our One Commercial Partner organization globally, did a LinkedIn post, I believe it was the 1st or 2nd of April, and she systematically listed out in much more detail than what's here, that what we're doing with our partners. But it's absolutely around how we're adapting our incentives, how we're making training skills and certification available, how we're extending deadlines for competencies and specializations for all the different programs and anniversary extensions. So really helping our partners manage their business through this transition. We're postponing the transition to the new partner agreement to late 2020. And like this event and many others, we're running virtual events. In fact, we're running one almost every week as Microsoft, probably every other week actually. And what we've seen, and I'm sure Grey Matter have experienced the same thing, is that we're absolutely trying to do the best that we can as an organization to stay connected with our customers and our partners. So hopefully that gives you a sense not only of who we are as Microsoft, which I think you know a bit about that, but more importantly, how we've evolved our business to this cloud platform, what we're doing as an organization. And there's really three areas that I want to help you understand is probably our recommendation of not only through this crisis, but in general, what are the three things we're recommending to all of our partners? Absolutely job number one against all of this, be it the current crisis or business as usual, whenever we're going to have that, it is around building capability. Absolutely is around building capability. And there's a couple of links here. If you take a picture or write it down, we'll send you the deck. What we're doing around our systematic programs to not only enable learning, but also partner-to-partner engagements. I talked about this notion of transformation, so that you know the link there for Modern Partner is primarily aimed at services partners that work with IP partners and ISVs. But the marketplace is absolutely what we're recommending you embrace and engage with. And finally, I talked about culture and the notion that culture really underpins our strategy. And again, we would encourage you as an organization to make the pledge with us and to adapt your strategy to whatever is important to your organization. So hopefully that gives you a strong sense of where we're at and what we're doing. And I want to finish where I started by saying a huge thank you, not only to Grey Matter, for being a great partner of Microsoft and allowing us to be part of today's webinar, but also to every one of you for your partnership and your support, and look forward to meeting you in person sometime soon. Thank you very much.